survival payments. I do not have any flexibility in terms of accepting orders. It will tell me they'll deactivate my account.
Let's watch this video. I'm going to react to it. And I almost didn't make this video because part of me was like, how are the people going to react to what I have to say about it and the questions I have to pose? But then I said, that's not what this channel's about. I have to keep it real with y'all. And I also want to get y'all's perspective. Let's watch this short video.
I work 40 to 60 hours every week and sometimes even 80 hours to make the basic survival payments, to pay my bills. Yet, if I speak to someone, they ask me, if you're getting paid $15, $20 an hour, why do you work for them? And they don't ask them, why are they paying me $15, $20? I started because I thought it's going to be flexible. Yes, it is flexible to sign in and sign out, but rest, it is not. I do not have any flexibility in terms of accepting orders. I do not have any flexibility in terms of where I want to go and where I do not want to go. If I try to not to take any order, they'll tell me they'll deactivate my account. They'll give me warnings. If I'm not taking the order in 20 minutes, they'll give me warning that you are late. Yet it's paying me $20 and even less than that. An hour without super, without any personal leave, without any sick leave, nothing. We just want our basic minimum wage, $26 per hour. That's it, that's all I want.
So what is your first initial instinct and reaction to that? I think people will have varying reactions to it. Obviously, this gentleman is most likely a rideshare driver in a big city. Maybe he does food delivery, maybe he does both. He's clearly probably wasn't born here, which that doesn't matter, but I guess it does because a lot of people that do rideshare specifically weren't born here. English is a second language. A lot of immigrants come here, they use this job to make money, and I think that's a great thing. I am second generation. My mother and father were both born on the island of Puerto Rico. Moved to Chicago, met each other, and you get Mr.BetonYou. My grandparents and my parents worked all kinds of jobs, factory jobs, warehouse jobs, management jobs. My mom had her own little cleaning business at one point. My dad's worked all kinds of side hustles. I mean, we all got to eat. I got friends, family that do all kinds of work. I knew many people that drove taxis or do Uber, Lyft, or DoorDash or food delivery. So I understand and I'm empathetic to the little guy. We're all little guys. I'm a little guy. Compared to these big corporate entities and these giants and these behemoth companies. I am the little guy. I've always been a little guy. So I get him. I felt his pain. I almost thought he was going to cry. And I'm thinking, where'd they get this guy from? And there's thousands of millions of drivers like him that have this type of experience. But if you listen to what he's saying, it's obviously his experience, but it's not all true. And it always worries me when some people speak about the job that we do, but they're not painting a correct picture to politicians or lawmakers. He spoke about how he has to work a lot to make a living. And I think if you do this kind of work, this type of entry-level work, whether it's W-2 or gig hustle, or you're working for somebody else, or if you're self-employed or you have a business, you're going to have to put a lot of time and effort in to take care of your family. That is just, most of us are not lucky enough to work a standard 40 hours anymore. I don't know. I'm thinking of anybody. I don't know anybody in my life that is providing for their family, only working 40 hours a week. Now, I know people that are working 40 hours a week, but they have a husband that's also working 40 or 50 or 60 or 70, or they have other kinds of circumstances, or maybe they're retired. But somebody his age, it sucks that we have to do it, but I don't know many people that aren't working that kind of hustle, that many hours, especially in this gig economy. Now, should we have to? No, we shouldn't. That's not the point. Did he work less hours maybe a couple of years ago? I'm sure he probably did. That's also not the point. He mentions that the app makes him do certain things. I think we could probably debate that. Many of us feel that way, and I get it. I sometimes feel like, man, I got to do this to get this. I understand it. But he's saying, I have to take these trips and I have to do these miles. or I'll get deactivated. The app tells me that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. He mentions being 20 minutes late. We shouldn't be 20 minutes late. I don't know where he's getting that from, but yeah, there's apps have rules and regulations and things we have to abide by. I mean, it is what it is. Employers have that. It is what it is. He mentioned at the end he just wants $26 an hour. That's what he wants. Is that an unreasonable request? No. Especially if he's in a big city. New York, we made a video yesterday. It's $29 minimum for active hours for food delivery on all the apps, not just DoorDash. Uber Eats came out today and said they're charging customers an extra $2 for the effect of the new law. So now customers are getting squeezed a little bit more. It is what it is. But should food delivery drivers have a minimum? Should we be guaranteed a certain amount of earnings and have that come from, obviously it's coming from the consumer, but it's coming from legislation from the city or state that you live in? How do you feel about that? And how do you think the consumers are going to look at it when they're seeing information about us making $29 an hour or $26 an hour or whatever it is? Or they see me bragging about, oh, I make $30 an hour in some days, and it's great. Look at these massive tips. Look at these big orders. Oh my God, all I did was pick it up and drop it off. Should we be making that amount of money? Now, most would say, yeah, hey, I'm driving my car. I agree with you. We should be making good money because there's so many expenses that most people don't account for and the consumers don't even think about. But if we are getting $29 an hour, if he gets $26 an hour, this is my challenge to him and to you and to us as a community. Is that just going to make him be on a hamster wheel forever? If he's making 26 and then he's able to take care of his family, which is good, is that just going to make him drive Uber forever? Will that make him too comfortable? I don't know. Will it be able to have him put food on the table for his family and provide and not have to work 80 hours? Because nobody should have to work 80 hours unless you have your own business and you're starting it from the ground up. But is that going to make us more dependent upon the apps because they're paying us more? And do we deserve $29 an hour, $26 an hour to drop off McDonald's, to pick up passengers? I think many of you would say yes. Rideshare is completely different than food delivery, a lot more risk. It's harder. You can make sometimes more money on it, but it's a totally different ballgame. You have strangers sometimes in your car and things can happen like that. A McDonald's bag isn't going to yell and scream at you, punch you, kick you, throw up in your car. It's way easier to do food delivery than rideshare. We all know that. But how much should we make? And if we get to a point where we get what we want, does that mean everybody's going to want to do these jobs and then nobody's making money? If everybody's making $29 an hour across the land in every city in every state, or everybody's making $26 an hour, if this gentleman, if he was talking to the president or the labor person that runs this whatever, makes these decisions, if he got what he wanted and then said, you know what, everybody gets $26 an hour, man, the ripple effect of that would be good for some, but bad for probably more, because then now everybody's coming to these apps, flooding the apps, leaving the jobs at the Steak and Shakes, the Office Depots, the PetSmarts. You're making $15 an hour. Now you got a car, you can make 29. Oh, I'm going to do that. Then we go to these places and nobody's working, and they're already short-staffed. Do we need more rideshare and food delivery drivers? That's the question today. Anybody coming to these apps to make money? Anybody coming to these apps to make money on a side hustle? I salute, I respect. I did it, I do it. But do we need more drivers? My opinion is, we do not need more drivers. We don't need more people doing this type of entry-level work. You guys talk about oversaturation. You talk about not being busy, not seeing orders, not being able to dash now, not being able to get off of a wait list. I'm on a wait list for an app. Been on a wait list for, I don't know, 7-8 months. Something like that. Do we need more food delivery and rideshare drivers? I don't think we do. Maybe you guys disagree with me. Do we need more people able to use, do I think people should use this as an opportunity and mostly as a side hustle? Absolutely. Game changer for me, game changer for a lot of you guys. But if he gets what he wants, long term, isn't that going to be a negative for him? That's my opinion. It might just keep him doing this work that he doesn't like. He clearly looks miserable in this video. Most of you guys don't like this, don't want to do this. I don't love this. I sometimes like it. I don't want to do this forever. And if I started making more and there was some kind of minimum, it might make me want to do it more and be like, well, I can just do this. And then I'm not challenging myself at all. And then I'm putting myself in a situation of just doing this and not seeking and betting on myself even further. What do y'all say to that? I understand some of y'all won't agree with some of the questions that I post, but these are questions. You can feel how you feel and think how I feel a certain way or assume things. That's cool. I'm good with it. Let me know in the comments if you like. Maybe I'll see it. Maybe I'll respond. But at the end of the day, do we need more rideshare and food delivery drivers? That's my question to you. How much should we be making? Should it vary city to city, state by state? And should I in St. Louis, because my cost of living is pretty good, and I figured out a way to make it work for me, should I make less money per delivery because somebody lives in New York and California and the apps don't take care of them enough? The customers don't tip them enough. Their markets are oversaturated. They can't make money because this guy has to work 80 hours a week and feels like he has no control and feels like he's taken advantage of. Should I, should you, should we make less per delivery to help him? Those are some of the questions I had on my mind when I watched this video. I don't like seeing drivers like this. He looks defeated. And no man or woman doing honest work should feel defeated. He looks and feels and talks defeated. And I don't like that for him. But my question is, if he gets more money and gets what he wants, he'll just continue to feel that way. Because then he's going to want 28 and 30 and 32. And we should be making more money from these companies because inflation is crazy. The UPS drivers just got more money, right? A couple of months back. Happy for them. The company can afford it. But that's a W-2. They have they can make a career off of that. We, in my opinion, should not make a career and have all of our income coming from this type of work. That's always been my opinion. I've always felt that way. And if you do, you're going to look and feel like this guy. And that's no way to live, in my opinion. I'm ready for the comments. You guys tell me what you think. I asked you guys some questions. Put them in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next video. And remember, I make these videos and I'm opinionated and I challenge myself and y'all because I want more from us. I want more for us. I want more for you and I. And this kind of work has limitations. And this is all that we're doing. I think some of us aren't taking advantage of every opportunity in front of us, and we want somebody else to bail us out or help us. And I think we could do more for ourselves if we challenge ourselves. I will always feel that way, and I will always say unpopular things to challenge myself and you. I know some of you guys will get that and respect it, others will not, and I'm okay with that.